And here comes Megan. We're going to start on page 49 in grammar. So let's go there, page 49. Hi, Megan.
Hello.
We just started. So we're on page 49 in the grammar book. Okay, we're talking about adverbs today. You pretty much know what those are. You guys are already using them in your writing and you're pretty familiar with this, but just to review this part. It modifies a verb or an adjective or another adverb. So basically, the way it says adverb, that's a good thing to remember that it adds to usually a verb. And it tells when or how, when, where, why, and to what extent. And it usually or often ends in an ly. So that's the easiest to spot. And you're going to mark it with ly. So Timmy recently ate an unusually large tomato. Recently and unusually are both ly adverbs. It says it dresses up writing when it creates a strong image or feeling. Look for ly adverbs in this book and write them on the ly adverb collection page on Appendix 2. And that just means in the back of your book, if you just want to peek over there, very back here, it's page 191, way in the back. There's a blank page here with some great outlines. You can make your own list of ly adverbs. I don't know about you guys, but when I sit down to write, sometimes my brain goes blank. Like it's hard to think of a good ly adverb. So sometimes if you see one in another book you're reading, or even in this book, even in your science book, you never know when you're going to come across a really good ly adverb. So if you see one and you want to remember it, use this page. You can write your own list here. Okay. And then back to page 49 here. The other thing we're talking about is adjectives, and those describe the noun or sometimes a pronoun. Most of the time it's a noun. And an adjective tells which one, what kind, how many, or whose. That's what it tells. Which one, what kind, how many, or whose. In week 6, you learned that an adjective usually comes before the word it describes. An adjective that describes a subject may follow a linking verb. So here's two different ways you're going to see these adjectives. The scared mice ran. That one's easy to spot. It's right before the noun mice. Scared is telling us what kind of mice they are. They're scared mice. Okay, that's an adjective. But sometimes there's a linking verb between, like this one. The mice were scared. So scared is still the adjective, but were is a linking verb. It's linking between the noun mice and the adjective scared. So it's just another way to say it. So just know that sometimes it's right before the noun, and sometimes there's a linking verb in between. Either way, you're going to mark scared with ADJ. Even though it has ED, you might be thinking, well, isn't that a verb? Because, a lot of times we put ED at the end of verbs, but this is not a verb. It's telling about the mice. It's telling what kind of mice they are. They're scared. It's a feeling word. So, and that's that. There's a little note in the margin over here. These are the questions: how, when, where, why, and to what extent. Those are telling about the ly adverbs. Let's look on page 50. There's a little bit more back here. Page 50, talking about capitalization. Do you guys know what, do you know what a proper noun is? Have you guys heard that before? Proper noun? Yeah, okay, Olivia. So basically, a proper noun is the name of something. So, like even your name, Julio Soto, and Olivia Grande, and Megan Shockey, those are proper nouns. They're names. So you capitalize them. It's true for names of cities like Bakersfield or Santa Maria or Tehachapi. All of those are names of cities. You use capitals. Those are proper nouns. So sometimes we actually have what's called proper adjectives too. Like this one, it says, Timmy's tail bumped the English teacup. English is the adjective because it's telling what kind of teacup it is. It's an English one. But English is an adjective telling about something from England. England is a country. You've probably heard of England before. And anytime you have a name, a proper name or a proper noun, like name of a country, even the United States of America, you always use capital letters. So even though this isn't English, isn't a country, but it's telling about a country, it's from the country, English teacup. All right. And then down here, this is really interesting to me about English. So many times a word can be used as different parts of speech. However, a word can perform only one part of speech at a time. So in each sentence, it's only performing one part of speech. And remember, part of speech means verb, adjective, noun, pronoun, adverb, all of those different functions that words have in a sentence. A word can only function one way. So we're going to look at the word light, Light. It can be a noun used as a noun, or it can be used as an adjective, or it can be used as a verb, but it's the same word. That's what's interesting about this. So here it is as a noun, the light hurt my eyes. The light, we have that article the, that tells me light is a noun, the light. It's like the light in your room above your head. Here it is as an adjective, though. The light rain was falling. So this is now talking about the rain. And when we see light rain, it's like a sprinkle. It's just a little bit. It's not like a lot of rain. It's just like a little tiny sprinkle. And sometimes that happens in California, like a lot. Well, not even a lot. But when it does rain, it's usually not much. That's California for you. But anyway, light rain, that's an adjective telling what kind of rain. And here it is as a verb. The lamps light the room. It's what they're doing. The lamps are lighting the room. So isn't that interesting? It's the same word light, 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 but different functions depending on how it's used in the sentence. They just want you to think about that. All right, let's go on here. I'm going to have Olivia. Can you read the sentence on page 51, please?
In comparison, Timmy's wet vest, which he usually wore outdoors, was rumpled and dull.
Okay, good. It's kind of a strange sentence, but you did great reading that. And the word rumpled just means like crumpled up or wrinkled. Like if you squeeze it, it gets wrinkled. So rumpled is the same thing as wrinkled. So check vocabulary. And then how about Megan? We don't have any articles today, but we have some nouns. Excuse me. So Megan, where are the two nouns?
Timmy?
Good. Actually, you know what? I said good too soon. Timmy by itself would be a noun, but this is Timmy's vest. It's telling whose vest it is.
Oh.
Yeah, so not Timmy.
Which?
No, you're thinking about person, place, or thing.
Oh, so he.
That's going to be a pronoun. So I'm looking at the word vest. It's okay.
It's
Okay,
vest?
because that's the thing, right? It's clothes that you
I
wear.
don't know what vest was.
Well, it's like a jacket without sleeves, basically. You wear it over a shirt. It's a vest. Okay. So that's a thing. That's an article of clothing. So vest is one. And then the other,
Is war?
it's actually comparison. I know that's a tricky one because in comparison is a prepositional phrase because in is a preposition, right? So that means comparison has to be a noun in comparison. That was a tricky one, Megan. I know I heard you say war, but that's an action. So that's going to be more like a verb. It's okay. This is a hard page, actually. Don't feel bad. It's a hard one. How about Julio? What about the pronoun?
I kind of wrote almost everything down, but
Yeah,
he.
okay. He, yes. Sorry if I'm going too fast. I'll slow down a little bit.
No, I was saying that I was starting to write.
Oh, you're ahead of me. I see what's going on. How about Olivia? What about the adjectives? These are words that are going to give information about the nouns. So, whose vest was it?
Timmy,
Timmy's. So that makes Timmy's an adjective. And remember, another question the adjectives answer is what kind? So, what kind of vest was it? What are words that describe the vest?
rumpled,
Yes. What else?
and dull.
And dull. Yeah, the word is dull. I think of a pencil when I think of dull. Like when you use it, the kind of pencil that you sharpen, after you use it for a while, it gets really short, right? And you have to sharpen it again in order for it to work right. But dull also can mean like the color. If it's an old shirt, have you ever noticed that the color gets faded sometimes after you wash it a bunch of times and wear it a bunch of times? So that's what that means. Okay, Megan, what about the ly adverb? Which one is the ly adverb?
Usually.
Usually, good. That one's pretty easy to spot because it does have ly on it. So we're going to label it ly. I noticed your book is getting a little harder. You have more on your list. That's okay. You can handle it. You got this. What about the coordinating conjunction, Julio? That's the fanboys word.
And
Good. And right here. And then Olivia, I kind of gave this away earlier, but do you know where the prepositional phrase is? See if you can find it. Normally we leave it to last, but see if you can find it.
Comparison.
In comparison, there it is. That's the prepositional phrase. By the way, just a reminder, if you're doing your homework this week, do the easy stuff first. Save the hard stuff till the end of the list. Okay, you can move around on here. Megan, what about the who which clause?
Which
Yes.
and dull.
It doesn't go all the way to dull.
Oh, so it
Between
goes to
like
ramble?
so it goes between which he usually wore outdoors. It goes between those two commas there. So see how there's a comma right before which and then after outdoors. Which he usually wore outdoors was rumpled and dull. So that is your who which clause right there. And then Julio, what about the subject verb pairs?
huh?
Help me find the subject verb pairs. So you can tell me the verbs first and then what subjects go with them or however you want to tell me that.
Is it he?
Okay, he is one of the subjects, yes, in the which clause.
It's definitely not Timmy's because that's his, like
Yeah,
describing.
right.
So
Let's look at he first. Inside the which clause, what did he do inside the which clause? What's the verb in there?
war,
There you go. So that's one pair. And then you're right, it's not going to be Timmy's. What was it that was rumpled and dull?
the vest.
The vest. So the vest is actually going to be the subject.
I was thinking that, but I was like, wait.
Yeah, good. Because I like how you said it's not Timmy's because he's the adjective. And you're right, it's not. So then what other verb goes with vest?
I'm thinking it's was.
Yes, that's the one that doesn't have a label yet. And it's a linking verb. Remember in our lesson today, we talked about how it links the subject to another adjective. Like it's talking about the vest was rumpled and dull. All right, capitals. You guys can probably find that by yourself. Two capitals. And then we've got a comma rule, which means we either have to put a comma in or take one out. Olivia, do you know which one we need to do? put one in or take one out?
Take one out.
Yes, and do you know which one?
Is it the one next to rumpled?
Yes, it is. Very good. Because when we're listing only two adjectives, we don't need a comma. So there's two adjectives, rumpled and dull. Those are describing the vest. So since it's just two things, we don't need a comma there. Good job. And then the end mark is just a period. That one was a little harder. You guys are getting into harder grammar, but that's okay. Like I said, do all the easy ones first, and you're going to notice pretty much every word has a label. I know outdoors doesn't. That's the only one here. But if it has a label on it already, it's not going to normally have two labels unless it's the subject. That's the only time it has two. Okay. Any questions about the grammar today? Okay. Let's go ahead and put that away then, and let's get out your binders next. Okay. Let's see here. So you guys wrote about uses for salt. I have not had a chance to grade your papers yet. I'm a little behind on my grading, honestly. I'm hoping to catch up in the next couple of days. But thumbs up if you had a chance to write about salt. Did you guys finish your paper about salt? Good. Okay, good. And since we have such a small class today, do you have a question, Julio?
I was gonna say I forgot about our quality adjectives, but
Oh,
I was looking for quality adjective, or I was reading my thing and looking for quality adjectives, and I found like a lot.
okay.
So
Good. So you were able to put them in there?
yeah.
Yay, good. I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome. Um, let's look before you guys share. I do want all three of you to share your paper. And if you don't have it, that's okay. I can pull it up on my end as long as you turned it in already. But let's just review the checklist for the salt paper real quick because there's something new on here now, the topic clincher sentence. We kind of went over that last week. Does anybody remember the rule by yourself on the topic clincher rule? Can you unmute, Olivia? I see you doing it. Unmute and tell us the rule.
Topic sentence and the clincher sentence must repeat or reflect 2 to 3 key words.
Yes. Anybody else want to do it by yourself? Can you do it, Julio? Yes, you can. Let's try it.
I probably don't even remember it.
You got it. Do your hands, it'll help you. The topic sentence.
Topic sentence and the bottom sentence must repeat or reflect two to three key words.
Yes, the only thing you said was the bottom sentence. It should be the clincher sentence. Same thing, right? Okay. How about you, Megan? You can do it. It starts with the topic sentence,
Topic sentence. Bomb sentence.
clincher
Oh,
sentence.
clincher sentence. Must repeat 3 or 2 key words.
You were so close. So repeat or reflect. That's the other word I want you to remember. But you were super close. Good job, you guys. All right, that is on your checklist now. So you got to make sure to include that. And it says right here, highlight or bold. So highlighting means on the computer, you can highlight it or bold it. But if you're just handwriting your paper, you can use a real highlighter, like one of these to highlight those words, but you're only doing 2 or 3. Don't highlight a whole sentence. You're just doing 2 or 3 words in the first sentence and 2 or 3 words in the last sentence of your paragraph, each paragraph. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dress up words. So each paragraph should have 5 words underlined. And watch out for those band words. All right, so who wants to go first? Because all three of you are going to read. Who wants to go first? Julio's hiding. No hiding, Julio. How about how about Megan? I'm gonna pick Megan to go first. You got this.
All right, can you upload it?
Yes, I can. I sure can. Let me find it really quick.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me find it. Here we go. About salt. Okay. And
I
then
actually work on it today.
okay. I'm glad you turned it in. Let me get this bigger so everybody can see it. And look, I already see your topic clinchers. And look at all those words underlined. You got all your dress ups and everything. It looks fantastic. Let me make
Thank
it
you.
big. You're welcome. Oops.
Salt is helpful. With food, you can
Hold
safely
on. Tell us
test.
the title first and then start.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Ways to move salt. Salt is helpful with food. You can safely test if any egg is rotten by adding 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 cup of water to it. If the eggs float,
Yeah, you got it. If the egg
I
floats.
read too fast sometimes. Floats, it is rotten. If it sinks, it's still okay to eat. Add a pinch of salt to milk and shake it before you pour. It was, no.
You got it.
It will stay fresh longer because it has salt in it. People who want to stay healthy can use salt to help them.
Nice.
Salt kills weeds, but surprisingly helps good plants. It kills poison ivy, which can make you itchy. You put salt in soapy water and spray it to kill the weeds. Sprinkle salt on the weeds to get rid of grass and weeds, which don't belong. Put salt in water because it helps cut flowers last longer. With salt, weeds die and plants live. Salt is really, oops,
Useful. That's
useful.
okay. You got it.
Salt is useful when you clean. It gets food off pans because food can get sticky. Spread salt moisten
Uh-huh. Moisten. You don't
with
get the T.
water
Yeah, moisten.
and patiently wait.
Good.
Sponges will stay fresh for a long time if you soak them in 1/4 of a cup of salt and a quarter water. Salt helps get rid of mud, which ruins floors before you vacuum the carpet. Cleaning with salt helps your house stay clean.
Nice. Woohoo. You guys know what to do for her. Give her a clap in the camera. That was really good. I liked it, Megan. And you had all your dress ups in there. And I noticed that all the because clauses, you didn't say because of, because some students forget that. So you did right. You're not supposed to say because of, and you didn't. And then all of your who, which clauses, I really like it. You did really well, Megan. Good job. Okay. I'm going to have Julio go next. Woohoo! You want me to pull it up for you too?
No, thank you.
You got it? Okay. When you're ready, tell us your title and then you can read it.
Can I go last?
Aye. Why?
Yes.
What do you think, Olivia? Should we let him go last? Do you feel like going next? She's like, all right, we'll let him go last. Hopefully you're not still typing it because that's not good. Okay, good. Olivia, do you want me to pull up yours or do you have it?
Have it.
Okay, cool. So read your title and your paper when you're ready.
Interesting uses for salt. Have you ever thought about different uses for salt other than cooking? Salt can be used for cleaning. It can be used to clean pans by spreading salt on the food, which is stuck, then wetting the area, and finally waiting for the salt to lift the food. It can also clean broken eggs because it makes it easy to wipe. If an egg falls and breaks, you can put salt on it, wait patiently for the salt to absorb the moisture and then clean the mess. You can also clean your sponges but with salt by letting them soak in salt and water. Next, Next, salt can also be used for plants. You can kill poison ivy by spraying it with a solution of salt and soapy water. Also to kill weeds, which can be annoying in concrete cracks. Spread salt on the cracks and leave it for a few days. Then put extremely hot water over the weeds or grass because this can help kill them. To keep flowers fresh longer, add a tablespoon of salt to the water in the vase. These are some interesting uses for salt.
Yay! Very good. All right, you guys. Woohoo! I love it. And I think you remembered your topic clinchers too. It sounds like you did. Did you remember to highlight those or bold those? Okay, good. Nice job, Olivia. I like it. Very good. All right, Julio, it's all you. You got this. Do you want me to pull it up or do you have it? You said you have it, I think.
Yeah, I have it.
All right. Tell us your title and go ahead and read it.
Yeah, actually, what's so interesting? I had
What?
the same title as Megan.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Ways to use salt.
There
Salt can be used for cleaning. For example, cleaning baked on food from pans. Spread salt on it and moisten it with water, which will amazingly loosen the food. Another example is cleaning up broken eggs. Just throw some salt on the egg, wait 20 minutes, and because salt absorbs moisture, it absorbs moisture from the egg. Salt can be used for bugs. For example, soothing bee stings. Immediately wet the sting, then cover it with salt, which will make it feel better. Another example is mosquito bite relief. Soak the bite with salt water and also vegetable oil because then it will feel better. Salt can be used for other things like brightening your face. Just put a mixture of salt and olive oil because then olive oil moistures the skin and salt cleans dead skin cells. Another example is also keeping windows free of frost. Rub windows with salt water, which will amazingly keep the windows free of frost. There are many ways to use salt.
Nice. Yes, yes. Good. All right, you guys. So I noticed some great transition words there, like for example, and another use for, and I noticed you really thought that through, like how to transition from one use to another use. So I'm impressed, all three of you. Really. Excellent job. I'm not just saying that. I really like your papers, and I'm glad you read them today. All right, you guys, so we're done with the SALT report. So the first thing I want you to put away though is that tan page. This one, the banned words page. You guys wrote on here good and bad. This page needs to go behind the tab in your binder that says banned words. Make sure you stick it in there so that you can go back to it if you need it when you're working on papers. Like Julio was saying, it helped him, right? You had to think of quality adjectives. It helped him. So in your binder right here, this one, the one that says banned words, right behind that one, you should have a blue page back there too. And now the tan page can go back there too, okay? After you put that tan page away, close the rings, and then you need to get out the next week, which is week 9. And it's a guy's name. His name is Louis Pasteur. And we're going to hear about this guy, Louis Pasteur. and he's French. Week 9 has 4 pages to get out. Once you see the checklist page, that's the last page for week 9. And then you'll need a piece of lined paper too. So make sure you get one of those out. When you're ready, give me a thumbs up so I know you have all your stuff there. Good. Yay.
A
So
big, a chunk of my paper just fell out.
oh no. Did you forget to close the rings?
It stayed together.
Oh, good. Phew. Yeah, don't forget to close those rings. It's like really, really important. Oh my goodness. All right. Yes, Olivia?
Can I go get some lined paper?
Yes, you can. All right. So we're going to do another report style paper today. You guys did a report about salt. Today this week we're going to do a report about a person. And you'll see up here where it says Unit 4, summarizing a reference. Remember, we talked about that word summarizing. And basically what you're doing is telling some, SOME, of the information that you read. You're not telling all of it. You're just picking out the most interesting things and relevant and important, those things that you want to put in your paper. But don't worry about writing about everything because you're going to see this article is really long. Look at page 79. It goes on to page 80 and it goes on to page 81 and that's it. But still, that's 3 pages of one article. So it's a lot of information we're going to read. But when you write your paragraph, you're only doing 3 paragraphs and you're only telling some of the information, SOME. That's what we're doing when we summarize. Let's get your paper ready here.
I feel like we should do only some of the information when it's other longer paragraphs too.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense to like write everything all over again because it's already been done. So your job is to tell the most important parts or the most interesting parts of it. That's a good point, Julio. Name goes here like always. Today is 11/4/25. Skip a line. We're going to put his name, Louis Pasteur, Psteur. It's a French name. And we're just going to call this KWO. Now, I will tell you, we're going to stretch this lesson over 2 weeks. This week, you're only going to write 1 paragraph. Next week, you're going to add to that 2 more paragraphs. Yes, I see that. You can celebrate that. I'm okay with that. Because it's really long, yeah. You're going to just focus on the first paragraph this week, but go ahead and skip a line and let's get it ready though. So I want you to do Roman numeral 1 and then 1 through 5. Make sure you make it nice and neat like this, okay? And then that word clincher, because that's going to help you remember, oh yeah, I got to do topic clincher. We'll put topic up here in the margin too. So you know how we do that. So you got your topic sentence, and then you got clincher down here to remind you. Okay. Even though we're going to do just one, I'm going to have you draw a line like this under that just to help you remember for homework. You're just going to focus on Roman numeral 1, but we're going to get this set up for the others for next week too. Okay. So skip a line. You got Roman numeral 2.
Because I have an erasable pen, I might just put next week
You
on.
can do that if that helps you. I'm okay with that. We're just going to get the whole thing ready, but I had you draw that line because you're just going to do Roman numeral 1 this week. So we'll leave the others blank until next week. Okay, give me a thumbs up when you got that. I'll give you a minute to catch up here. Zoom in. Okay, good. I see that. So while you're finishing that, remember when you guys wrote about salt, we looked at the big giant list of things to use salt for, and then we categorized each one in a category like plants or food or bugs, right? We labeled each thing. And then we saw that, oh, there's more than one that talk about how to use salt with plants, and there's more than one that talk about how to use salt with bugs and other things. So this is more of like a paragraph style article. So what we're going to do like last year, we're going to read each paragraph and then we're going to decide what was that paragraph mostly about. And then we'll put a note on the paper that tells what it's mostly about. And that becomes one of the topics. Okay. And like I said, we're just going to focus on the first paragraph this week. So we're going to take our time with this. Olivia, are you all set? Okay. And then Megan, you got it? Okay. Louis Pasteur, let's go ahead and start reading this. So our goal for each topic is 5 facts. Okay, that's our goal. Maybe 6 if we put a fact next to Roman numeral 1. You know how the topic sentence can also have a fact here. But our goal is 5 or 6 facts. And looking at this first paragraph, there's probably way more than 5 or 6 facts here. But what I want you to do while I read is use your pen or pencil, doesn't matter right now. And I want you to underline the facts that you think are interesting or important or relevant to Louis Pasteur. Okay. So underline while I read. If you're like, oh, that's interesting, I'm going to underline that. Okay. We're just going to focus on the first paragraph here. So it says, Louis Pasteur was an important 19th century scientist. He was born in France in 1822 and lived there until his death in 1895. As a boy, he loved fishing as well as painting and drawing. However, his father told him that artists don't make enough money to support a family. So, although he was only an average student, he diligently studied philosophy and then chemistry. We know what chemistry is, right? When we're talking about like liquids and gases and metals and that kind of stuff for chemistry, mixing things. Philosophy means it's the study of how the brain works, like how we reason and how we think about things and what we believe is real and true and how we feel about things. So philosophy is more like that, okay? But he was really interested in the human body and chemistry. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Eventually, he became a professor at the University of Strasbourg, where he met Marie Laurent, the daughter of the university's rector. And by the way, rector means like the president of the university, so she was like in charge of it. They married in 1849. They had 5 children, but only 2 survived to adulthood. The others died of typhoid. Pasteur later taught at several other universities. Okay, we're going to stop there for a second. Typhoid means like salmonella. Have you ever heard that word before? Salmonella? No, somebody saying no, yes. So that's when you eat something that has spoiled. especially meat or eggs or something like that. Julio?
Yeah, I was gonna say like an egg.
Like an egg, yeah. Or like if pork or chicken, especially if it stays out and it gets warm, there's a bacteria that comes in, and if you eat that bacteria, it makes you sick. So you always want to make sure to keep your meat in the fridge until you're ready to cook it, basically. Red meat's a little different, but especially like chicken and pork. So that's in the 1800s, they didn't really know that. And so that happened sometimes, they wouldn't take good care of their meat. And then when they ate it, they got sick. And then they didn't have medicine to help them get better. So it's sad that he had 5 children and only 2 of the 5 survived. So 3 died. That's a lot. That's terrible. That he had a rough life there early on. But so I think we should call this paragraph, and what I like to do is label it on the side here. So go ahead and turn your paper to the side where the holes are in your paper. And let's call this paragraph early. You can write it on the side here, early life, because we're talking about Louis Pasteur and his early life, like where he was born, what he liked to do as a kid, and then growing up a little bit, and then eventually he got married. But this is basically his early life. Okay, I'm going to keep going. We're going to find out more about this guy and why he's so important. Early life. Okay. He did in-depth study on fermentation. Have you guys ever heard of fermentation before? Fermentation? Have you ever heard of kombucha or kombuchi, maybe it's called? I forget what it's called. It's a fizzy drink. Yeah, Olivia knows what it is. It's actually really good for you. Oh, okay, good. Julio knows what it is. Um, is that how you pronounce it? Is it kombuchi or kombucha? I can't remember.
I think it's kombucha. Yeah, kombucha.
Okay. Um, Anyway, it's actually a good bacteria. So bacteria can be good or bad. You've probably heard that before. Okay, like yogurt has good bacteria, but rotten meat, bad bacteria. So you got to know the difference between the two. But okay, so fermentation is the process. It's going to tell us what this is. Fermentation occurs when yeasts, bacteria, or mold cause a food or a liquid to change. He was able to show how vinegar, beer, and wine are made. He suggested better ways to brew beer and keep wine from going sour. This helped his country to make money and pay its war debts. In 1852, he was made head of chemistry at Lyle University, where he uttered his well-known maxim, fortune favors only the prepared mind. Okay, so a maxim is like a famous speech. Like you probably know Martin Luther King's speech, I Have a Dream. Maybe you've heard that before. Okay, so this was his famous speech. This is one of the things he said. Fortune favors only the prepared mind. We know fortune means like wealth, money. Favors means like when you receive it, like it's a good thing. It's like you're lucky, right? It favors only the prepared mind, meaning like people who study and prepare and learn about things. If you don't and you're lazy, you probably won't have fortune if you're lazy because you're not doing anything, right? So that was his saying. So this one is more about fermentation. So go ahead on the side here. Let's write that word. Fermentation. It's a big word. That's the second paragraph. Okay. And we're actually going to save the rest of the article for next week because it's so long. We want to kind of chop it up a little bit and do bits and pieces, but I'm going to stop there. So far we have 2 topics. So on your outline here, I want you to turn it over to the back of your outline. So turn your outline over to the back side. This. We're going to take just a couple notes here. I want you to put the word subject equals, and that's going to be what your paper is about. Louis, pasture. That's what your paper is about. He's the subject. Like last time, your subject was salt. This time it's Louis Pasteur. And then I want you to put possible topics equals, and so far we have his early life. Oops, not that. And fermentation. I messed up, so just ignore that. It's fermentation. Those are the 2 topics that we read so far about Louis Pasteur. So we know about a little bit about his early life, and then fermentation. So whenever you write a paper about a person, it's really important that you start with his early life to kind of tell the reader who you're talking about and a little bit of background about that person. Okay, so we're going to choose his early life for Roman numeral 1. Did you get it, Megan? You good? Julio?
I just had a question about our homework. So are we gonna have class if we class in like 7 days if next week if we're doing uh 2 more next week?
Good question. Yes, we will have class next week because we'll talk about what you're going to write about here. But yes, because we have to finish reading the article and we have to finish the keyword outline. But this week, we're just focusing on Roman numeral 1. Does that answer your question? Yeah, okay, good. So here at Roman numeral 1, let's put LP, and that's going to stand for Louis Pasteur. I'm just going to circle those so we can remember LP stands for his name. And we are going to focus on his early life. And a little bit about his background. So I think it's safe to say that he kind of had a difficult early life, right? He loved fishing and painting and art and stuff, and his dad said, "No, you can't do that." And then so he's like, "Okay, he's got to study now." And then he gets married and has kids, and his kids die. So a lot of them died. So I think I'm going to use the word difficult here just to kind of give a good adjective. This would be a quality adjective, the word difficult. That's a C. You can underline that for your quality adjective. His life was difficult. His early life was difficult. And this is where you're going to look at did you guys get a chance to underline some things? I forgot to ask you that. So underline some facts that you thought were interesting. If you didn't, it's okay. Okay, some of you did. But you're going to look at what you underlined just in the first paragraph that we put early life next to. So look only at this paragraph here. And I'll start with Olivia. How should we start this paragraph? We're going to talk about his early life, but we kind of need to tell like who he is and where he was born and what year and things like that. So what do you think we should put here next to regular number 1? Like what year he was born, where he was born, and what was special about him in the beginning. What do you think, Olivia? Let's start with what year he was born. I didn't get to hear that. Say that one more time.
He was
He was born this date. What's this date?
1822,
Yeah. And where was he born?
France.
So what if we did born 1822 that we can use for free and the word France. And I think that's probably all we need to put for that line. That's when he was born and where he was born. Okay. And then Megan, what did it say that he loved doing when he was a boy?
Fishing, painting, drawing.
Yeah, fishing, painting, and drawing. So we could do like a little heart for loved, and then let's do those three words: fishing, painting, drawing. I know some of you like painting and drawing. Anybody like fishing? Yeah, Julio does. And Olivia, good. So you can relate to this guy. When he was young, he loved, I put a heart, fishing, painting, drawing. But Julio, after you write that, but his dad didn't really like that. So what can we put next about how his dad, what he thought about fishing and painting and drawing? This is for Julio.
Um, he said that artists didn't make enough money.
Yeah, to support a family. Yeah. So he didn't think that was going to be a good career choice for him, right? So how can we put that in our outline?
Uh, hmm.
It's kind of a lot to figure it out, but let's see. Probably father, probably need that word, huh?
Yeah, I definitely need that word.
Okay. Father.
I don't get it. I can't. I don't get it. I don't know how to do it.
So he said, artist didn't make enough. So he basically said, um, let's do that word enough, but how could we show it as not enough? What could we do with the word to show that it's not enough?
A thumbs down. I don't know.
Yeah, that's one way. I'm thinking of circling it. I'm thinking of that. We've used that before, I think, right? So enough, but not enough. It's just like that sign, like I told you guys at the beach. Sometimes there's a sign that has a picture of a dog with a circle and a line through it. It means no dogs on the beach. Just means not enough. And then money, what symbol could we do for money, Julio?
I don't know. Just uh, paper with a circle in it with a head. Just
Like draw money?
yeah.
Or do you know how to do like the dollar sign? Is that what you were gonna say, Olivia? Dollar sign? That one's pretty easy. It's like a big S and then two lines down. That's dollar sign. So if that helps you, or you can draw a dollar. Either way. So basically, the father says it's not enough money.
To support a family.
Right. So let's do support because that's hard to draw, but maybe after that we could draw a family. Like the dad and maybe a mom. and little kids. Just draw some people here. Like I put a little like triangle dress on the girl. So we got the dad, the mom, and some kids. So that can represent family. Or you could do like FAM dot fam. That's a way to abbreviate family if you like that. That was a hard one, Julio, I know. So you got father. So you're gonna have to remember how he said that's not enough money to support a family. So then Megan, actually no, we're back to Olivia. Olivia, what does he decide to do after his dad tells him that's not enough money? What does he decide to do? Just look at that first paragraph because we're focusing on his early life. So up here only on that paragraph. Right here after it says he didn't have enough money to support a family.
Maybe average, and is there a way we could draw a student?
Maybe, but what if I go jump to studied, that kind of implies that he's a
Mhm.
student. So maybe we just jump to, we don't need average, maybe just go to studied. And then what are the two things that he studied?
Philosophy and chemistry.
Philosophy and chemistry. Yeah. So maybe we could just put that studied philosophy and chemistry. Basically science, right? He studied science. All right. I know we're out of time, so I'm gonna help you with the last one because I think it's important to talk about how his kids died. So he got married. Could we draw a little diamond ring here for married, maybe, and have it like shiny, like a little diamond? That's a diamond ring. Okay, so he got married. That means. And he had five children, but two survived. So three of them died of typhoid. So he had five, and we could put children, and three died typhoid. It's important to say that because that is what really made him research fermentation and bacteria and stuff, because typhoid has to do with bacteria. So that was what inspired him to study more about bacteria. So that's why we want to make sure to include that. So I have a wedding ring. So he got married, had five children, three of them died from typhoid. And then from there, we're going to talk about what he discovered. So that's why his life was so difficult, right? He just had a lot to deal with as a young person. But okay, after you write this down, that's it. You guys are only going to write one paragraph. You're just going to use this for your first paragraph. And don't forget to use your checklist. We already looked at that. Make sure you use everything on your checklist, okay? You guys have any questions about your homework this week? You don't have to do this yet. Oops. Don't worry about Roman numeral 2 and 3. We're going to do this next week. Okay. Yeah. Party time. Just do Roman numeral 1 and write one paragraph. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. Have a great week. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Good job, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.